Got two.
Huh?
I've only been in one.
We got, it's getting pretty big. I mean,
All right, 5 o'clock, we'll call our workshop to order. Everybody plug in and turn on, and tune in. We'll get started, and already heard suggestions and wishful thinking that we'll be out early this evening, so let's see if we can make it happen.
When was that?
They weren't through.
It was Judy putting hers on.
Yeah, they were just,
Yeah,
you know.
just, yeah. Okay, Mr. Smith is not here tonight, but if you look inside your book there, we do have, looks like run reports for the last quarter, the end of 2022, October through December, and the run reports as well as the, we have the training and all those things to do.
Those were in your minutes last month,
Okay.
but yeah, we have those also. They just wanted to make sure y'all had the run reports and let you know that their Easter celebration is going to be on April 1st.
April the 1st.
They do it the full weekend before Easter, so in order to do that, they have to do it on the 1st.
And that will be on Saturday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Is that a new form?
They're using the paper forms right now because that way they can give them to us and then they key them into, yes, a new form.
I like it.
I do too, yes.
That's much better than some hand things we've had in the past. I like that.
They're really trying over there.
Yep. Do we need to discuss that, or just each one of us will take a look at them and see if we have a question on them? There looks like it's 15 or so, maybe 12 or 15 over the last quarter. One on Burn Field and an assistance with an automobile crash and some things like that. Or do we have any questions? Do we have any questions concerning the operations of the fire department that we can ask Mr. Smith at a later date? He can be here maybe next Thursday, or have us an answer if we have questions concerning the fire department.
Yeah, y'all welcome to take these with y'all and we'll put them back in the books next week.
Okay, hearing no questions or discussions, we'll just move right on down then. Tim, come tell us good news, sir.
Trying to close out the grants. It's slow, but we're getting there. We got the concession stand done. Tried to go pressure wash to the shuffleboard today. It did not work out. I gotta figure out how to get it to work for the pressure washer for that tank. He told me how to get it done, so hopefully we'll get that done next week. We got some tin ordered, we got the wood, we got lights, wire, we got the tin ordered so that we can close in the, we got the dugouts done. We're getting ready to close in the building next week and try to paint the splash pad. And then we're gonna try to clean up all the playground equipment, pressure wash it all. We did this week though, get, was it the nature trail, I think it is out there? All that wood and stuff is up.
Wow.
So that, some of it's in a pile still, we ain't got it all up yet, but David's been using inmates to keep parks clean. I don't know if you've been out to the cemetery, but the cemetery looks pretty nice. He's been making them clean it, keep it kind of organized, but most times you only get one inmate, so you can't really do a whole lot with one inmate. But he did start getting two, but other than that, we're trying to get the grants closed out. But then again, I've got work orders. Every day I have a work order. Marcy, very big on some work orders. Every little thing is work orders. So I have anywhere between, what, at least 2 to 6 work orders a day, maybe?
6 a day, yes.
Yeah. And then trying to map out all these water lines. Ms. Margaret's trying to get us some new prints. And like I said earlier, our pipe horn just ain't working. Can't look anything up with it. we're trying to go off the diamond maps, trying to get them to come down from Tallahassee to help map out some, but every time I get up to them, the guy that they assigned for us is too busy, can't make time, or it's a week or two before he can even schedule us.
We'll give him a couple of times of that, then we'll go over his head and they'll be out here.
But it's been kind of hectic trying to get all these power poles located where they want and try to get the grants done, but like I said, we did get the concession stands done, dugouts are done. Trying to think what else. I know that we still ain't had a chance to paint the doors on the possum palace yet, because the moisture, the rain, the cold, so we gotta make sure it's dry weather for that. When we go to paint them, we're also gonna paint the doors on the concession stand at the possum palace. That way it kind of looks about the same, I guess. The doors need to be painted anyway. But, things seem to be going good.
Tell me again what you said about the nature trail.
The next, the little walkway out there has been cleaned up.
Right.
The deck walkway has been all cleaned up and cut around. And the little obstacle course trail out there,
Yes.
it's, all that rotten wood has been taken up. Well, actually, all of it's been taken
That's what
up.
I thought, that's what I thought the wood was, was
Yeah.
gonna be the old, and that came from the health department, I think. That, and
It was all
it'd be really be a good thing to be restored if we ever had the money, like a balance beam and some things like that, if any of you ever went down there. And I'm glad to see the walk thing. I've used it a few times. It don't go any place, but it's there. And if we could ever expand it and take it through there, the idea behind it to begin with is that we'd get the Boy Scouts or somebody like that. They would identify each of those natural trees out there. This is a cypress and this is a pine or something like that. But when we got the grant, had about enough to build the walks, maybe as long as from here to the fire department with a little T on it, couple of little bends in it, but that would be something if we ever start to do anything again. Just if we just got to spend money just cause it's there, that'd be a good place to hook on and make it bigger.
Would be kind of nice also to do like a little platform, maybe put like a little picnic area out there with it too.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Oh yeah.
But we're getting there.
Okay. You got all of our equipment running and got everything that you need to work with?
Everything's running, except for that pipe one. It's about the one thing. Need something to help locate these lines. I know, I tried to use Vernon, they had one, but even theirs don't work.
What is it?
The line locator for the lines. So, because I had to go up to Dallas, and Dallas showed me how to get it working again, and you actually had to bump it some in order, sometimes to work, sometimes it won't. So,
What would it cost to purchase one that would? What type of money are you talking
I'm
about?
pretty sure they're
$3,000 to
about
$4,000.
Good,
Yeah, they're
We got about
expensive.
$3,000 in that one.
good.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah,
Is
okay.
there somewhere we can take and get it repaired?
I don't know, we can check into that.
I don't even know where.
And everything that you would be locating now, it does have the wire on it, but you know those locators on the work, they got that.
Yeah, everything we got's got wire.
Yeah, it's supposed to have wire on it, yeah. I know everything that I've been putting in, I put wire on it.
Okay.
That's what I was told, that's what Mr. Register said when I started, and that's what I did that way.
I remember David still had, a couple, 3 years ago, he still had some that he was getting into some old stuff that they get out. Did you have wire on the one down here across from Robert Pettis'? The one that stayed open so long on, Japan or,
We had wire on the new lines, but not on those old lines that were under
not the
there.
one that was broken?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I know down here, yeah, no, there's none on them. I know down here on Monroe and First, there's a 2-inch line run down there, but there's nothing there showing it's there.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be there, but they didn't take them out of the ground.
So, there's lines there that there's no wire on.
Anybody have any questions for Tim? Any comments? I'll make a comment. I'm big on work orders as well. If anything's been done, we go back there and they say, well, a work order was given this day. Now this is 5 months later, it hadn't been done. We got a way of measuring.
Yeah.
And we agreed on that some time ago, and we don't have to continue to do that, but I think it's good.
We still do it,
Now, you don't have to have you shouldn't have to have a work order to empty the trash out the bathroom or something, but anything that probably require some labor and parts and things like that, the work order thing is good. She may be a little aggressive, but you'll take care of that.
She's good, and you will finish it because you will be asked every day if you finish it, so that's good, you know.
That's
They
good.
sometimes gets busy, you know, and forget
Yeah, she
that
keeps me pretty busy.
we need to go pick that trash can up, or we need to go lock this water, you know, before
Yeah.
somebody else moves in.
Yeah, that's good.
She's doing good on it, she's learning, and she's mellowing out.
Okay. And the other thing, that's a good choice of words. The other thing, now that we're getting inmates, how's that working, and is everything between you and David good?
I didn't want to work with him before he got hired on. I think Miss Margaret had a talk with him the other day. He seems to be doing pretty good now. I was just trying to get him on the same page with me about the grants. I did dugouts by myself, up there at the concession stand. He helped me at the concession stand. And my thing is I know I don't know everything. I know he doesn't know everything. The way he talks, he thinks he knows everything. But that's how most people are. I get it. And I understand too that being older, you don't want to listen to somebody younger than you. But I feel that I shouldn't have to go behind and fix stuff that he's doing that he's supposed to already know because he's already had the job. Anyway, other than that, we're starting to get on the same page now. So with the inmates, he's actually getting more than when he was just getting one. I didn't really see the purpose of just getting one inmate. For the, if he's just getting one inmate to clean this and that, he's sitting in the vehicle with the AC going, I think that's a waste of gas. I don't know how y'all look at that, if it's a waste of gas but now he's getting 2 inmates and it's showing that we're getting some stuff done, so.
I think there's a little give and take on both sides now, that I think it'll work out. If not, we'll bring it back
Yeah.
if we do.
Well, I would, I think you ought to get more than one inmate myself.
Well, we only get what they'll give us.
No, they just don't give you but one.
He's set for 3, but right now he's only getting 2. He was getting 1 for I think the first week or 2.
There was, had a shortage, of ones that could let come to here.
Well, okay. I didn't know that.
And I know it's difficult for you to answer my question, but this is what these workshops are for, because I think we knew some of this up front when David come back, but there's a potential. But, and if I'm wrong, then these other 3 can correct me. But from the beginning, it was my understanding that you're the supervisor. They can't be but one. Anything with 2 heads is a freak. You're the supervisor. It's also my understanding he would be a working supervisor of inmates. If he's just going to ride around and sit in the truck and watch somebody else work, we're probably not getting the best for our money there as well. He could be.
But, yeah, he's limited on what he can do with the inmates there,
Yeah.
but he can get out and help, and I think he did.
You're allowed to get out and help a little bit, but they do tell you that in the paperwork in the class, if you're supervising inmates, you're supposed to supervise them, not do anything else.
I'd be good with that. I know, again, lots of my stuff is 10 and over, years older, and our inmate supervisors used to work too.
They do, yeah, but
They hoe, paint, axe, or shovel, or whatever, but I can see where it would be difficult to watch one, so I'm satisfied with that answer. But if you don't want him sitting in the truck with a motor running, tell him to get out. And if you don't get out, tell him work. And, I mean,
I think you could really cut down. I wouldn't do it. If I don't tell nobody something to do that I wouldn't do myself, but you shouldn't get out and leave the truck running and burning gas. You know, that could be, a lot of expense could be saved by getting out. I mean, it's gonna get hot, but
Gas ain't cheap.
no, it ain't cheap, but I don't think that's a good idea to sit and leave a truck running and sit in the truck with air conditioning going. It ain't good for the vehicle, but that could be, and you the head now, you the boss, right? Or you the supervisor, and, you, just tell him, you know, I just say, tell him.
I agree with you about the combined knowledge. He knows some, you know some.
Yeah.
And his benefit coming back to work for us was his knowledge of lots of things and all like that. Let him share that knowledge with those guys that's working, if he has to kind of pick something up, whatever, but, just, don't let it go to the point where there's confusion and we hit it here at a table one night, a lot of problems or something like that, just,
Yeah.
and Margaret, you will help him with that, I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah, she's been doing good with it.
Do you feel like you have the support of the council? Okay. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Mr. Park, Mr. Carter, anything for Tim? Okay. Hey, Mr. Smith, glad to see you could join us. Steve, can I
Yeah, go
back
ahead.
up? Okay.
I got a moment, go ahead.
Okay, yep. Just a compliment or a comment to start with. I like the new form that you submitted everything all this time. I like that. It's easy.
Road report.
It's easy to read.
Oh, road report?
It's easy to read. The structure's all good. Even the writing and all is much better. Somebody put some effort into that. I appreciate that.
Rebecca's doing a better job.
She's doing a lot better job.
Rebecca.
Rebecca's doing a lot
Good.
better job.
Congratulate her for it.
On the minutes and the training.
Okay, give us your report. Tell us what we need to know about the fire department.
We're doing fantastic. I'm quite proud of where we're at. All of our equipment is really good. I don't have a thing to ask from y'all. There's no issues. Our department's doing great. We have several new members. I think we got 4 new members.
Wow.
Even some older ones are talking about coming back. I think Richard Finch, who is a firefighter and EMT, is talking about coming back to join us. He's moved back into the area, so I'm quite proud of where we're at. We're doing good.
That's the kind of report we like to hear. Yeah.
That's what I got for you. I told Margaret, I said, I've really got nothing. We're doing great.
We like it when you come and don't ask for anything.
We don't need anything. I don't think I'll need to change the other tire on the tanker when the next quarter comes around. We're just gonna try to save our money and, just do a little bit at a time, but
You never know when something will blow up, for lack of a better term.
And that's why
Outside of that, you don't see any major, big expenditures. That's wonderful. Been a long time. Does the fire department still owe us any money?
I think we wrote it off years ago.
We think we wrote it off.
Yeah, I think Hilton wrote it off. They did.
The auditor wrote it off.
Hilton got tired of seeing it.
We got a clean slate then.
I'll take it. But no, we don't have any more big expenditures, any big projects going on. We're leveled off. The department's done. We've got everything that we want to do till it's done.
I saw where we got a new fire coordinator in the county.
Yeah, Justin.
Justin.
Have you met him?
We have.
Yeah.
He's come down and toured and, yeah.
He's the first one out of the fire coordinators that is really putting in good efforts. Matter of fact, I think they made him full time.
They
talked about making him full time.
They did.
Yeah.
I think maybe this last meeting, I saw something in the paper or something that they he?
Yeah, his position was originally just a part-time position, but he's done such a good job that they're gonna take him on full-time.
If that position will gain the confidence of the firefighters and the fire departments, it can be one of the most important in the county. It can be such a hub for the wheels to spin around.
Well, they went through two, and they just didn't put the effort that it needed. But he's really doing a good job. I would love it.
And it can be, if it's less political, it'll also be, and I think this is going to be less political maybe.
I hope so.
Mr. Park, anything for the chief?
I don't have anything. Everything's good with him, and I'm happy with that.
Mr. Carter?
I'm happy with
Yeah.
it.
Y'all had a great Christmas season, the presentation, the banquet that evening, and things like that. Thank you for the invitation to be there. We enjoyed ourselves and everything.
No, I just thank you, Alan. That's all I'm saying. You're doing great.
Okay. Anything for us, from you? Okay.
I'm good.
Stay with us if you like, but,
Now I gotta go.
okay. All right, Steve.
Thank y'all.
Adam, can you lock the door over there?
Huh?
Can you lock the door over there for me? The back door? Side door.
We fix all goes, and all I got, so everything worked, soccer, ceremonies went great, we're fixing to start baseball.
You're up, signing starts in February.
Well, we're doing February, March ones when we first.
No, your side door at the fire department.
We'll start, practicing March the 2nd.
You said
your side door.
Oh, I thought you said her side door. Okay,
Lock it back.
I'll take it. Sorry about
Yeah, we'll start practicing March 2nd. We've been getting forms in through email and through here. Actually, I ain't looked how many we got so far, but Miss Margie, she said we had a bunch. So, and she's doing good. I mean, she got my phone number. I talk to her 2 or 3 times a week. But, that's a good thing.
Who is that you talking about?
It's hard.
Okay, good.
Yeah, she got my number. She'll call.
Okay, gotcha.
Who?
Marcy.
Marcy.
Oh,
But I ain't gonna really have nothing until next quarter, till baseball and softball get started.
Tim talked about the vandalism, it hadn't been able to get.
Well, they called me, the sheriff called me. Now, like I told him, is we got, they were stealing things during when we had the Halloween. Well, I don't want to throw anybody on the bus anyway, but the boy that actually went in there and stole some masks posted on his Snapchat. Well, anyway, his father took care of it, and I ain't saying no names, but then we have some boys down here, across from the next employee, that I think is the one that did the old bathroom and everything, is they're the ones that stole the bicycle of, his daughter and son, and they were trying to help us in the haunted house. That's who I think is doing it. But unless we get the cameras working and catch them, I mean, you really can't do that.
Did we not put cameras?
Yes, there's cameras up there now, everything's
Since
working. Everything's good.
Everybody, I'm sorry, everybody does know about the vandalism on the bathroom doors, but you read the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were out that day, you did it.
Okay.
Had some vulgarities and things written on the doors down there, and some sexual content and stuff like that. And we masked it or scraped it or done something, we covered it, it's not
Let's
visible
cover it up,
anymore, but we
everything.
hadn't got it painted back to it.
But it's the same boys, and when I talked to the sheriff department, they called me 2 weeks ago. I told them which one to start looking for. So hopefully with all the cameras up there, we won't have that problem anymore.
If y'all walk in my office before you leave, you'll see our new camera. We got new cameras up, a couple new cameras up, some moved around.
Yeah.
Since the construction, it's really showing it down there now.
And that's what it should be.
Every court, yes.
And that's
How
what
long
it
is
should
it, how long does the recordings take?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Now, we can save them to the computer if we need to, but
But every 2 weeks, if nothing's shown up, we just
let them
start
go.
it.
But I do have a suggestion, is we should have a camera on the field. Because during Possum Day and all that, we use them fields as parking lots. And we had a problem, not this Possum Day, but the last Possum Day with vandalism out in the parking lot of the new field above Possum Palace. Now, we have no cameras that show the actual field. Understand what I'm saying? I think we should just have, put another couple up just for parking when we have events. That way it covers us on liability. You know, someone say, oh, I tripped in a hole that somebody dug while I was playing baseball, you know, things like that.
Did we get all that debris off of that infield?
Yes, and I got dirt, I'm gonna spread this next week. They dumped a load of dirt, I'm gonna spread it, and then.
The new dugouts are up, and the benches in them dugouts
The
are up,
bench.
and everything's finished on that end.
I'm waiting on this rain to find out where my low spots are, so we can put it in, so we don't have to cancel when it rains during the season. I hate that worse than anything, having to cancel a game.
Miss Judy, anything for Steve?
No.
Mr. John?
Not,
I'll have it.
Thank you for coming. For heading, again, ask you the same thing as others. You have everything you need to work with, and
Well, we're gonna have to have a little bit more equipment, like the bags and, the bases and everything's gonna have to be done. They only last a couple of years because they get tore up and everything. But besides that, we should have everything.
these should be things that's in his budget that's,
If you get them to me pretty soon, we can order them through the grant, or playground
Yeah.
renovation, or baseball field, whatever.
We can get them coming next week.
Have done.
I mean, Amazon has everything we need. I'll pick it out and send it to you.
and those kind of things are recurring or expendable, or what
Yeah.
term you use for every few years, you do have to replace some things, but that should be.
But that's all, it's the basis for both fields and, T-ball bags. I mean, everything will be under $500, so
Send me a list and I'll order it on the city card, and that way
Okay.
we reimburse through the grant.
I'll get to you Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate
Let
everything.
me ask, and I may be having one of those hard of hearing moments too, or Tim, sometime hard for me to understand. The building he's talking about being completed next week, is that the one that's called, down there with those controls?
Yes.
And the,
Yeah.
okay.
That's part of
Hold on
our
and
playground
off.
renovation with
Yeah.
the grant to be able to secure those controls. Steve has problems with them.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Thanks for everything y'all do.
Margaret?
Okay, we submitted our legislative consent grants this week for the Possum Palace. They went to the House and to the Senate. We submitted a request for $1,212,500. So we need to politic, we've got letters of support that's sent to both House and the Senate from the Garden Club. We need our other organizations, the Development Club's supposed to be getting me some, but we've got to politic to get this money, you know how we have to do. And I went to the meeting and I talked with both of them personally, gave them our list of what we wanted to put in that house. And, actually they did add in some inflation, so we won't hopefully run short of money because of inflation. So it's submitted, and I've got confirmation back from the House and the Senate that they have them, and they were putting them before the Senator and the Representative.
So we need to,
We need to make
contact,
calls, we need to make calls, we need to make whatever we need to do.
talking to the senator or representative themselves is probably close to impossible, but is there a contact person?
Ann McGraw and Samantha Sullivan in Representative Abbott's, and then Andrea Gaines and Kim Rogers in Senator Trumbull's.
Okay. If you would please give me some address, some number of contacts, I will, and all of us can do that.
It's usually easier to get Kim than Andrea, but you can get Kim.
Andrea that she's talking about, you know who that is? Yeah, Ricky Evers.
But you don't get these funds unless you really push them,
Yeah, okay, if you give me some contacts, I'll make some calls and write some letters as well, and I'm sure that we all will.
Okay, if you look at your collection review status in your packets, you see we are down to, right after we're down to, total 6 delinquent accounts for $1,611.36. And one of those that y'all have a payment agreement with, and one of them is paying it down quickly. A lot of them is, one of them has like $6.48, but, we have nothing in the, range 4, but the one y'all gave the payment agreement to.
and that's the biggest one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Well, that looks great. I like this. I mean, it should, that's still good.
Yeah.
You know, I like that.
We got a lot of,
That, 63, is that, which one we got the agreement with?
number, 227.
227.
Is she opening up the agreement?
Yes, she is.
Oh, yeah, that was over, like well over $1,000.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
And so was that 63, but they're getting them on down there, you know?
Well-
And the 246, 245, she's one y'all got an agreement with too, to let her, because of the leak she had, you know, we adjusted it and she pays $100 a month. But we've also sent her to the LIWAP. LIWAP is through the DEO. They will pay, if you're on food stamps and any kind of social security, disability, social security, you're just about, they will pay $1,000 per year for your water. Now, these people still have to pay their garbage, but they pay $1,000 a year for water. And they'll send us that $1,000 check up front, and then we credit them the water until they run out.
Wow. So we got many in Wausau that's doing
We
that?
got a tremendous amount that does it. All those that were on this list all the time, those were the ones we were waiting for this program to start, and it has started, and they have paid up and got credits. That's why you don't see them. And you would be surprised if you look at those applications that's come in, and no, we cannot tell you they're 100% truthful, but you wonder how they make it from day to day, much less month to month.
Do they mail the check to the
They
town?
pay it to the town hall.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it goes through Tri-County, through the DEO to Tri-County, and then they mail it.
Okay.
That'll work as long as it comes to the town, if you start sending it.
No, they don't send nothing to
They'll go to
the,
Walmart.
it goes to Tri-County, but it looked much better. And let me assure you that Marcy's like a dog on a bone with this.
And I'm glad that it's down, and I'm glad that people that have the needs it, but some of them actually don't hear, you telling me they on social security, and they own all these kind of things, and
Yes,
they qualify, the application said they qualify.
the application said they qualify. That's all I can say, you know, what they give us is what we can turn.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can.
Yeah.
Now, the number 63, she applied, she was over income. The 227, that, she applied and was over income. So those were, you know, they were over income, they didn't get any help, so that's why they're playing like they are. Miss, the 245, if she gets all of that, she's gonna apply Monday.
Well, that'll keep coming on down. That's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
That's great.
And I can assure you, when it gets the 20th of the month, or every day, when Marcy mails those bills out, she's on that phone. Your bill is not being paid for last month. When can you pay it? When can you get it in? You know, she's
That's great.
on it, you know, and that was what I stressed when she started. We wanted these collections brought into compliance. And the LIWAP, you know, done great, but she's doing great too.
Okay, that's good that she's doing that. Are you here when people come in? Is she?
She's
getting a lot-
very nice.
She getting a lot of grief at the window?
No,
or
she's
anything
not.
Because she's doing what we asked her to do?
She's not getting any grief.
Okay.
We've had a couple, but I talked to them, and, you know, this is just how it's got to be.
That's probably the best that's looked, and I don't remember when.
Yeah, that's looking great.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names, and at one time it was 2 pages of them, almost. That's great. That's good.
In the water system, for the last quarter, we took in $40,115.05 in water revenue, $16,583.76 in garbage revenue. Deposits and service charges was $295, late fees $30. We collected total for the quarter of all our income coming in, $57,023.81.
What is about the average, Margaret?
That's probably about the average right there.
About the average
Yes.
right there, okay.
$57,000 a quarter.
Yeah.
Almost $180,000 a year.
Mhm.
And almost $240,000.
Somewhere around a little over 240,000. Your budget versus expenses, and I know y'all can take these and look at them all, you know. But, you know, overall, the budget looks okay. We still need to monitor our spending. You know, we have to, as a small entity, we have to monitor the spending, you know.
Is any budget, any department budget, we're almost 6 months into the year, into the fiscal year. Is any budget in particular that we need to?
Right now, everything's looking pretty good, you know. We still gonna have to cut some on these miscellaneous expenses. And when you get to looking at these, I printed out the miscellaneous expenses. That's this sheet here is out of the QuickBooks of what was spent in miscellaneous.
Does it say miscellaneous at the top?
Yes, it does, yes. Yeah, so when y'all look at that, take it and look at it. As in general funds, we don't spend much miscellaneous of anything else.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, I don't see it.
right after general funds budget.
We can take these home.
Yes, sir, take them home, we'll run them back. It'll be the first page of your budget there, Roger, general funds budget, and then right after it is a general fund transaction detail by account. They're there. And there, and there, right there,
And that.
yes, sir.
So,
There's still a lot that goes out, and the elections commission, that's not much, you know, our taxes are not much, you know. The Christmas banquet and the Christmas budget, and that's, you know, we're gonna have to look at stuff like that, you know, a little closer, you know.
one of them especially.
Yeah, Walmart Capital One, that's
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah,
That's the, you know, and I know inflation hit and we only budget $2,000 a year for it, you know, but it's, we got to look at it a little closer. Or let them, you know, maybe give us a list and let us go see what we can get, you know.
yeah, you're a little closer to 4,000.
Mhm, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And that's all, you know, and we do appreciate our fire department and everything
Yeah.
they do, you know, it's very nice, you know. And they did cut down this year.
Okay, so everything over here would be under, they don't have a budget line item, this is a catch-all in miscellaneous.
Well, yeah.
And it's about.
We have a budget line item, you know, but it's hard to break it out on that budget line item. But
Yeah, no, but this would come under miscellaneous.
yes, on that.
About $8,000 for us.
Yeah, I broke it out on the budget some, you know, and that may not be quite right, you know.
Okay. Okay. Can we all look at the, anybody have a question right now, or we want to look at these and we'll ask her
Next
next
week.
Thursday if you need
Yeah, I'll
to?
take them.
Okay.
And Marcy, I'm very pleased with her performance. She's trained the water system and is extremely good with our residents in person and on the phone. She's handling 95% of the water system and is now typing the minutes and moving to other aspects of learning the office. I believe she's an asset, and her probation's up on March 9th, so probably that's 1 month, you know, from next week. So I'll either recommend her to move on, you know, March 9th and go forward in this meeting, or to move to permanent status, you know. She says she's staying.
Okay, I don't know what you just said.
Her probation's up on March 9th.
Right?
And I can either recommend and let y'all vote on it February meeting, February the 16th,
And then it automatically happens.
happen on March 9th. That'll probably be, and you know,
I think when we start our workshops, we say things that we agree on in conversation, we can put on the consent agenda.
yes. Mhm.
So what we're saying is that you're going to recommend to us next week that when March the 9th comes, that's before our next meeting in March, that she would automatically go, come on, if we put it on the consent agenda and vote on it. Okay. What do we want to do? Is there any raises or anything?
There's $1 an hour raise in that.
Okay, and it is budgeted?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But none of it would take effect until March, so it just keeps us from having to come back.
Come back.
and do it.
Yeah, it won't take effect till.
Let's just put it on the agenda for next week.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. If you put that on the consent agenda, please.
Okay.
Okay,
And that's all I've got. Everything else is going pretty smooth. Like I said, we did have a few little glitches in employees, but we're doing good.
okay, okay.
You know, that's just normal.
That's normal.
You know, we
That's just people.
You ask people, that's normal.
You got also in your packet, let me let y'all look at that too. When y'all get to looking at these, you'll have your FERDAP grants in there, where the money's being expended on the grants. It's just a regular spreadsheet, but you'll see where we're at on those. We're ready to close out George Rogers. As soon as we get the invoice from Fed Fox and Dewberry gets out here and does the survey. We'll be closing out, we'll be cutting it close on Possum Palace because we got 2 pieces of playground equipment. We're getting an 8-foot slide, standalone slide out there for the park. Everybody wants a slide, so we're gonna.
That's just what we need, something to go off the break
Break
yard.
arm.
Oh, yes,
Don't say
yes.
that, Jesus.
And we're getting a little
Oh,
playground
okay.
cave that they can crawl through and stuff like that.
Do we have another FERDAP in the wind
Not yet, we gotta close these 2 out, then we can apply in September.
in September?
And we do need to apply for, we need some, and Steve can agree, we need to do some, we'll have to do that in stages, but add those LED lights at Possum Palace Park. They're awesome at the George Rogers Park. I've got to go see them lit up. And we need to do the Rogers Square, some renovations there with the FERDAP grant.
Are the LEDs, on a dark open day, or are they?
Now, they're
timed?
they're on your switch, you pull them.
Yeah.
You have to turn them
They're
on.
ball.
Yeah, you gotta turn them on. Just like I said,
They're
ball
not,
field.
they're not solar.
No, but they are awesome. We got 4 poles out there and it lights that whole ball field.
I'd like for us to consider, we got 2 FERDAPs going, can we have 2 at a time?
We have to at the time we're in.
I'd like for us to consider that parking and paving and all in front of.
That's in our grant right here for the legislative incentives. We got parking and paving in this grant. We got drainage in this grant.
Okay,
We got the sub pumps for the septic system should we need them.
yeah.
We got everything that we could think of in this grant to finish that Possum Palace like it needs to be finished, if we can get it funded.
I think the biggest part of that will be engineering because they're going to do a lot of elevations and a lot of, that ground is holy and
And next,
Beaches.
Next Thursday, you're supposed to do a walkthrough with John before the meeting.
I asked Nancy, was that today or next Thursday?
Next Thursday.
I know it's all about it, but, yeah. Okay, I think I was gonna say something else, but I think that's gonna dress up that down there lots,
It will, yes.
okay?
Also, we got, I had to send pictures to the state of Florida today on the Collins house over here. We're doing, they wanted pictures of the existing house. And like I said, we're in environmental review on Old Drive and Coeur Lake. We're grading.
Paving and drainage, and
We have bi-weekly infrastructure meetings every other Tuesday and Wednesday with the state of Florida.
do any of us need to be at any of those?
No, we
It's just those routine.
Just routine,
Yes.
Fred's on
That's
there.
just the hoops we go through.
Who's we got to?
Anything else? Mr. Park, anything from you?
I don't have anything right now.
Okay, Mr. Wolfenham?
No, sir, not fine.
Ms. Carter?
What about the bathrooms at the Possum Palace, the new ones? You know, they were gonna have to do something
About septic tank.
about septic tank. How are we on that compared to getting it done by Monday?
They are workable, they're usable now.
Yeah.
We lowered the life pipe. We may need the sub pumps, but that'll be in the next phase, but they're usable now.
So we're gonna be able to use them?
Use
They
those
gonna
and-
handle fun day?
Oh yeah, we can handle fun day there and the old bathrooms will still be operational too.
Okay,
Everything's operational down there now.
That's good.
that's good.
That's good. Phase 2, the legislative grant, or whatever we call it, this is to, when we started here like 3 years ago to doing this, we thought we were going to get the building enclosed, the fans, air conditioners, and ventilation, things like that. This is all of that, plus the pavement and stuff like that. I mean,
This is all of that.
finishes the whole,
That is all of that, plus the paving, plus this.
So we're gonna pay.
It's gotta be around those handicap parkings, there in front of the entrance of the Possum Palace. We got to do something at those areas there.
Yeah.
Probably it's almost as far out as that gate or something like that.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Because somebody in a wheelchair, they have a hard time getting up, getting coming in that side there, and, yeah.
Yeah,
The electrical post and the water hookups and like that for campers and like that, are they gonna have to stay where they are?
that remains to be seen, but,
But the engineer make a recommendation to us?
he will.
I mean, it's very convenient for them. for
So they
the
also
people that
get
come,
backed into a lot.
But, yeah,
They nail them down.
the other 365 days of the year, they've taken a parking space and their maintenance to keep them moving.
Yeah.
Do we turn that water off all year long?
We turn it off to the water.
Okay. Ms. Carter, go ahead.
That's all I got. I
Okay.
just wondered about that.
Okay. We may have to vote on some of this but I'll discuss it now, so you can come prepared next week. The property down in front of the Baptist church that the Smith family, Mr. T.D. Smith's children, has offered to us. Without legislative appropriation, I don't think we would be able to buy that. I have not had, she or he, Tony or Teresa, neither one has given me a call, so I think you tried to contact
Okay,
me.
I'll have a talk to them.
But if you look at the property appraiser and then you look at the real estate and everything, I'm guessing we're looking at $200,000 or $300,000 would be that.
I think they've been offered 230,000 for it, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that we could borrow that much and ever be able to pay it back in a reasonable length of time. I don't know that the bank would own us that low. If we all think that way, then I'd propose to us that we go ahead and thank them for thinking of the town, for giving us the first refusal, but let them move on with selling it to somebody if they can. And I think we probably need to vote on that because we introduced it in a business meeting, not in a workshop. I think we need to put that on the agenda for next week, and then we'll vote. And if we think we can do it and we still want to buy it, I'm not just saying let's just bail out, but we all need to be satisfied that we can buy it. And our revenues outside of grants is going to be $80,000 to $100,000, $150,000 maybe. And I don't see a payment in that. Not
Can't
just run,
afford that.
not just run the town.
Let me ask you this, or anybody that knows, that is divided right there, correct? I mean, where the big house is, the two lots behind it, it's got
It's
trailer
almost has to
park.
be in one parcel, isn't it?
Is it one parcel?
I think it's in one parcel.
That whole square right there is one parcel?
He wound up buying the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, now the lots, it's easily divided because lots and block identification
Yeah.
stays there. He
Yeah.
owns the whole thing, so.
Oh, he wants to sell it
He
all,
wants to sell it all.
total together, I got you.
So it's one whole block then?
The whole city block. From out there where, we always say, Miss Johnson's place, Danny
Yeah.
Campbell used to live there, all the way back to the Buster Rogers Road.
And what we need to think about, we may can get a grant to do that. There's some possibilities, start out there, we could buy the land, put a farmer's market on it. But then that's still, many, many years of repair, maintenance, and upkeep by the city, that our budget is stretched as it is on keeping parks up for 25 years, and Possum Palace is up, and Town Hall's up, and COVID House is up, plus our streets and roads,
Two things that we could do there, one may be and the other, they'd make a great parking lot, but you can't take that kind of for the state, and make a parking lot at it, to be once,
Not
used
at
once.
that price.
Not at that price, not to be used once a year, it'd be a
And if
rate.
we ever had to assess that road tax in the Wausau, that would be taken off the tax rolls.
It'd
as
be
it's
off the tax roll.
Off the tax rolls, I hope I'm retired before we ever have to consider adding a road tax in Wausau,
I suspect just about time we consider that, we'll all be
but
retired.
it's good.
Okay, would you please put that on then, and we'll vote on this next week, make it an official thing, and if you would please draft a very nice letter to, the family. The other thing is, that says Christmas tree purchase, I didn't mean purchase, it might cost us something. There's a very, very, not perfect, but very good-looking Christmas tree, cedar tree. It's on the property, also by the Smith family, that used to be the old cafe, the old Mojo station out here. And Tommy told me if the city wanted to move that over here from the fire station or out here someplace on the properties, that we could do that if we wanted it. I know that Dallas and Tim tried to move one last year, and I think what you wound up doing, getting too close to the root ball and cutting it out, and it never did make it. But I don't know if we want to plant a tree there and have it grow for the future. It would always be there. The development club.
That's what they like, they want them, yeah.
They do want to.
A permanent tree.
Would like to have, well, I was wondering what they would like, because they had, the last couple of years, they had a pretty nice.
Yeah, they were just gonna use that one this year because ours died.
Sort of
They
thing.
just used that one this year because ours died.
Okay. But if he would let us have that, and he said we could just go get it, would it be all right with us if one of them got in touch with maybe the forestry department or Mr. Mathis' tree farm or some other nursery?
Or maybe even the horticultural class at Boteg.
Yeah.
We don't have a horticulture program anymore.
Wow, what happened?
We haven't had it for 20
Well, never
years.
mind
Yeah, I
that.
didn't think they had one, but that'd be great. But do we want to try to relocate that tree and plant it?
How big is that tree?
Man, it's,
It's not as big as one that they've been using, but it would grow.
it would get big, but,
They sure start growing, they'll grow fast.
yeah. But if we want to be sure that where we place it is where it's going to stay though, and when we look at our property.
You may want to talk to the development club about it too, because they,
Develop that fire department, but if,
Yeah.
do we want to pursue it? I don't mind to talk to somebody, but I don't. Yes, yes.
Yeah, be fine.
Fine. We'll see if we can do that, between Margaret and me. And the last thing I have, of course, is everybody got a copy of Ms. West's letter?
They haven't got it in, they'll be in the books next week, but they do know she's resigned, everybody knows.
Okay, Ms. West has offered her resignation, and we have to vote on it. I called and asked Margaret to call Mr. Carter for me, because these are things we were going to, I haven't spoken to Mrs. West, and I don't mind to, but until such time as her resignation is official, then she's still a member, and we want to be careful about sunshine. I read her letter. I think that this council took action at its last meeting that we would be patient and some things like that until she had a chance to get on the ground and see whether or not she could alter her hours one day a month or some things like that. And I don't know if she did that or how that worked, but we do have a letter that she's going to resign. And is that letter got a date on it?
February 1st.
Effective February 1st.
Maybe retroactive to February 1st. we don't know.
So effectively, she's already left us. So
We just have
we're going to need to have a couple of things. We're going to need to have a mayor pro tem, and then we're going to have to replace Ms. West on the council. I think our charter says that I replace her. The way that I and Mr. Rogers, even before me, did it, we bring some names back and we talk about it and try to get the best person to do that. I have a list of names, and I'll read these over to you, and if you have any that you want to put on there, and then I will interview or contact or some things like that and see, or if you have somebody else, we could do it that way. But two things. Mr. Carter will call you. Yeah. I asked Mr. Carter, would he call Miss Carter? Not that either one of you gentlemen would not make a good mayor pro tem. I think either one of you would. But Miss Carter just lives right there. If Marcia needs a check signed, if they need some things like that, she's very accessible and things like that. And if in our discussion, if neither one of you oppose, and Ms. Carter would take that, she wouldn't be offended if we oppose and all, but if I was to submit her name for mayor pro tem, would we want to do it on the consent agenda, or do we need to do it with a motion?
I would think the consent, if you're gonna motion that consent agenda
Yeah, yeah,
and authorize her to sign it, we may need to do that separate. Let's do it separate because
okay. And let me just ask you, would you like to be, Mr. Ford?
You make a
Would you like to be?
pro tem.
No, sir.
Mr. Carter with the selection?
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Okay.
Be fine.
And I'm not sure that Mr.
Right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Ms. Carter wants to be, as much as she's willing to be, because it will help the town and all like that. She did not solicit, she did not solicit, we haven't talked about this between ourselves, but, it seemed like a logical.
She was senior
And at this
counsel.
point, that's what I
Yeah,
say,
she
thank you,
did.
she is at this point in time the senior member of the rest of the council, so you think we need to do a motion?
I think so. Let's do
Okay,
it.
okay. When you make our agenda, put that down next to my name,
I will.
okay, the last thing I'll share with you, these are some names that I have. Did y'all know there's nobody from Wausau that's from Wausau anymore? Over the years, we have appointed, I have been part of appointing, probably a half a dozen or more people to this council. And I had always, as best I could, tried to use native or native connections to the town. But most of us is gone. Most of the people who lives in Wausau has chosen to come and be a part of our community. But here are some names, and if you have other names, I will contact them as well. Barbara Rich on Cora Lane, Brandy Vaughn on 2nd Avenue, Thomas Hausman on Owen Drive, and Roger and Mickey Post. And let me tell you the reason for all of these. Ms. Ridge, Mr. Hausman, Mr. and Ms. Post have all at one time or another attended some of our meetings, and all of them have at one time or another. I was not aware of this, but Margaret said that each of these has at one time or another in some of our recent elections have inquired about running. So they apparently have an interest in the town.
And Mr. Houseman has, yes.
And
I'm
Mr.
not sure he's been here the year, but I'll check and make sure on that. You know, you gotta be a resident of the city for 1 year.
Yeah.
But I think he has.
Okay. Mr. Donald Haddon, Troy Landry, and Chad Anderson. I thought that Jason Cook may be, I put his name on this list too, but in speaking with Mr. Cruz, he's prohibited by state statutes or laws or something. And he agreed with me, but he'd make a good one, but he said there'd be a conflict, and we don't want that. So those are the names. In the past, we've been turned down by Mr. Ray Justice, who I think would be an excellent choice.
I do too, I was thinking of him.
Yeah,
He won't.
and
He won't.
and I can ask him again, but he's turned me down 2 or 3 times. Mr. Carter, he's got experience in Dallas. He may would come back. Ms. Colbert did, and anything I say is not a negative connotation to anybody, but she was and had an election and people didn't choose her, so you know, none of these others have ever served. Brandy is the only one that's got a well, Chad and Troy have been here now 20, Troy been here 20 plus years. He used to work for the county. He's been here a long time. Chad kind of grew up down here on the end of town. And Brandy is the only one that has a connection. And those of you that don't know who Brandy is, that's Brown Carter's granddaughter. Y'all remember Brown Carter? That's his granddaughter.
What's her name?
Brandy Vaughn.
Vaughn.
Chris Vaughn's wife.
Chris is one.
Yeah.
Chris Vaughn's wife.
Okay.
She's actually the only one that I have made any other contact besides Jason. She used to attend my brother's church, and I asked him, he said, I never had a better worker. He said she's strong-willed, and he said she's a good worker. And that's a different setting. That's in the church, and this will be here. So I don't have a selection here. I don't have a favorite. What I thought I would do is call some of these people, see could I meet with them, or would they meet with me maybe one day at the city hall, talk to them, see what their interest is, see what their background is. Barbara Rich, she's the one that used to be on the planning commission or something
And then
down
Haven,
in
yeah.
Van Haven.
Yeah, that must be.
Yeah.
She's been here a couple of meetings, 2 or 3 meetings. You've heard her husband is David Rich.
Yeah, yeah. I think one night, if y'all remember, we had 2 or 3 visitors and a couple sat right in
Yeah,
this side of the
I
table.
remember them.
Remember that? That's who that is. Does anybody else have another name you'd like me to contact? Or there's the charters, it don't say that I have to do all the, they can talk to somebody too, couldn't they, Margaret?
Yes.
I may have to make a
Recommendation and the council concurs.
But, and the council concurs, okay, but is there anybody that y'all would like to talk to, or another name that you'd like to see on here?
Where does Randy Vaughn live? Works here for residents.
Right next door to Snakehold.
You know where,
Bridge.
you know where Wilson Walks name used to live?
Yeah.
Lives this side, her husband's got a little mechanic.
Oh, yeah, okay, I know who you're talking
Right behind
about.
the
Yeah,
bar.
yeah, I know.
Behind
Yeah,
the
he
bar.
works on vehicles.
That's
Yeah,
right, that's right.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about.
He used to work for the county, I think he works with a logging company.
No, he's back with the county now.
He's back with the county?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
we
that.
have some,
Him and his son Clint is too.
yeah.
Huh?
Him and Clint, his son, sit with the county now.
Really?
Yeah, I know Brandon.
Okay.
Sure do.
Mr. Haddon lives in Mr. Parks' old home, live right here.
He's very active in Mexico.
He may not be here a year yet.
He's been here a year, yeah.
Has he?
That's one of the names I was gonna suggest.
He's, he was very active in Mexico Beach politics.
And Frank Houseman and,
He lives right over here.
Yeah, Mr. Haddon.
Yeah, he's good. Really.
It's Frank Houseman and Thomas Houseman.
Yes, that same one,
Same
yeah.
person. And he's been involved in what? Or do you just know it as a
I just know him as
good
a
person?
That's a good neighbor, yeah.
Good neighbor.
Yeah, he's good, he's sharp.
Anybody you'd like to add to this list?
Not
Now, have, we don't have to do this, this is not a rush thing,
No,
we'd
sir.
rather do good than do fast.
Yeah, oh yeah, no
It's
problem.
gonna be a 2-year term, you know.
And it'd be a 2-year term, and they'd have to run then for
The 4-year
complete
term.
Okay. Okay, anybody, Miss Shipton, that you can think of?
No, I had Ray in mind, but
Yeah.
he said he won't do it.
Yeah. Call him and ask him. Call him and tell him it looks like that you're going to be the new mayor pro tem, and one of the first orders of business that you were going to do, he served. I think he'd be an excellent choice. I do, but, call him and ask him, or
What about,
go see him.
you said you had Shirley on that list?
I don't.
Shirley Reitenberg.
Yeah,
I don't, but we can put her on here,
put her on there.
okay? Okay, anybody else?
No,
Mr. Ford?
I was going through Robin Jones' name out there. What do y'all think about her?
We can interview any of them.
I'd put it on. Did you know, I think that, I think they need to want to do it. I mean, I don't think they
And
need.
Roger will know that when he talks to him.
Yeah, that's good. And if they want to, that's a good thing, if they'll enjoy doing it. Because if you don't enjoy it, you ain't gonna do good. I'm gonna just say, you got to enjoy it.
Okay, here's what I'll do, here's the way I'm gonna approach it. We got phone numbers for all of those except Shirley and Robin and I.
I got it.
You can probably got numbers for them. I got numbers, what I'm gonna call them and tell them is that we have a vacancy. Their name can be offered to somebody who may be, interested or might consider it. What do you think? If
Tell us why you want to serve
If-
Wausau.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they say no, then we right away. If they say yes, and I'll interview everyone the same way. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
To approach it that way? And we won't do, we'll probably, I'll certainly try to make sure that we can do this by the March meeting. I don't think I can do it in a week, not with this many people. I'm gonna be Red Rampart this weekend. I can't do much in the chemical. Just, anybody wants to say congratulations out there.
Damn, I'm so proud of this one.
Yeah, but, yeah, we are. But I'll do that, and I'll do it in that way, if that's okay with everybody. Is this a card for everybody?
Yes, I think, yes.
I'll mention it
yeah.
now, and then we'll do it again next week, the 55th anniversary, of the Chamber of Commerce banquet is going to be March the 16th, so, we'll do that next month, okay? Anything else?
Gotta be on our meeting night in March.
Anything else for the workshop? Okay, stand adjourned.